parallel lines and parallelograms. This first question says, at the below proficient level, it says, if angle 5 is equal to 156 degrees, find the indicated angle measures. And so we've got 2, 4, and 8. So one of the things that we need to know are kind of some of the names behind this. If I've got two parallel lines, you can show that they're parallel lines by having arrows not at the ends but in the middle. Could be one little set of kind of arrows or two, and those show that those are parallel lines. This is called a transversal, so we might call it lowercase t. Let's say M here and N. So I may say M is parallel to N. This is what this means. Line M is parallel to line N. And certain angles are formed when that happens. So we have corresponding angles. Corresponding angle pairs, which in this case, let's see, 1, 2, 3. They've just numbered. This is angle 1, this is angle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So corresponding angles are those that have the same orientation as the vertex. So this angle 8 is corresponding to angle 4 because they're both down and to the right from the vertex. And so angle 4, angle 4 and angle 8 is one of the pairs. Up and to the left, 1 and 5. Those are corresponding angles. They're both up and to the left. They both are up and to the left of that vertex, the point in the middle. And so angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. And by the way, all of these are congruent, which means their angle measures are the same. And let's look at this one. Angle 2 up and to the right is corresponding to angle 6, which is up and to the right from the vertex. So angle 2 and angle 6. And then finally here we've got angle 3 and angle 7. And those are down and to the left. So angle 3 and angle 7, and those are those angle pairs, and they are congruent. So I may say angle 4 is congruent to angle 8 because of corresponding angles, and this means the same thing as the measure of angle 4 is equal to the measure of angle 8. Okay. Those are corresponding angles. Real quick, we've got alternate interior angles. These pairs are also congruent. I won't list them all. We have alternate exterior angles. And these are also congruent. And then we have same side interior angles. Also called consecutive interior angles. And these are not congruent, they are supplementary, which means they add to 180 degrees. So let's look at those real quick. So interior angles are the ones that are inside the two parallel lines. And so those are the 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all interior angles. But the alternate interior angles would be 3 and 6, because one's on the one side, the other's on the other. So alternate interior angles. And those are congruent. If I, let's say I went to angle 4 and angle 5, those are congruent because they're on opposite sides of the lines. On the other side, and so that would be the alternate interior angles. The alternate exterior angles, again, exterior, now we're looking at the ones that are on the outside of the parallel lines. So all of these angles here, 1 and 2, 7 and 8, are on the outside of those lines. So they're exterior angles. And once again here, 2, angle 2, and angle 7 are alternate exterior angles. And so 2 and 7 are congruent. And then I could say angle 1 and angle 8 are congruent because they are alternate exterior angles. And then finally, if we look at just clear that up a little bit. Now, same side interior angles are supplementary. So I could look at their interior. So 5 and 3. These are not congruent, but this means that the measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 3 equals 180 degrees. And so if 3 is, let's say, 70 degrees, then angle 3 was 70 degrees, that would mean that angle 5 would have to be 110 degrees, so that together they would add to 180 degrees. And so we can use that to help us solve for different kinds of problems. Now, that said, let's go back to the problem over here. We were given that the measure of angle 5 is 156. So this one (156 degrees). And it is congruent to this one by what's called vertical angles. They share the same vertex and they're opposite of each other. So those are congruent. Angle 5 and angle 4 are congruent because they are alternate interior angles. Angle 5 and angle 1 are congruent because they are corresponding angles. And so those would all be equal to 156. So let's see. 5 we know. So 4 is 156 degrees. And angle 8 would be 156 degrees. And then angle 2, if I go, let's go kind of like this. Angle 3 and angle 5 are same side interior angles. And that means that the measure of angle 3 plus angle 5, measure of angle 5, which is 156 degrees, is equal to 180 degrees. And so then I can just subtract 156 degrees from both sides. 156 degrees from both sides. And that cancels this here and gives us that the measure of angle 3 is equal to, I think that's 24 degrees. And so the measure of angle 3 and the measure of angle 2 are vertical angles, and therefore they are congruent that way. So this one is also then 24 degrees. Okay, now in a parallelogram, we know a few things to be true. Well, all the opposite sides are parallel. So this is parallel to this side. This side right here would be parallel to this side right here. And there's a number of different things that they have there in common. So if you think about it, then this angle right here, represented by 11x plus 3, and this angle right here, represented by 47x plus 3, are same side interior angles for these sets of parallel lines. And, let's see, for these sets of parallel lines. And then this one would be the transversal. And so 47x plus 3 and 11x plus 3 are not congruent, but they are supplementary. And so I can say that we'll say, well, let's write it this way. The measure of angle R plus the measure of angle S as same side interior angles or as consecutive interior angles, that's equal to 180 degrees. And the measure of angle R is this one that's blue, and this measure of angle S is that one that's green. And so I can write my equation. 47x plus 3 plus 11x plus 3 equals 180 degrees. My x's are like terms, so I can combine those. That'd be 58x, and 3 and 3 all constants are like terms, so that's plus 6 equals 180. Then I can subtract 6, and that would cancel. 58x then is equal to 180 minus 6 would be 174. And then I can divide both sides by 58. And 174 divided by 58 is 3. So that gives us that x is equal to 3. Now, we're not being asked to solve for x, but see, x equals 3 is not the measure of either of these angles. I can find it, though, by putting 3 in there for x. So 47x plus 3 is now 47 where x equals 3 plus 3. And 47 times 3 is 141 plus the 3 is 144. So this is 144 degrees, and that is angle R, 144 degrees. I can do the same thing with 11x plus 3. 11x plus 3. 11, that's 11x is 3, so 11 times 3 plus 3. 11 times 3 is 33, plus 3 would give me 36. And so that's S. And just as a double check, those should add to 180 like we set up in the equation. So if I just want to double check, 144 plus 36, 6 plus 4 is 10, 7 plus 4 is, or 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8, and then 180. So check, it works. Now, opposite angles are also congruent in a quadrilateral. And so if R then is congruent to T, and S is congruent to angle U. And so we can just then transfer those over. Angle T and R are both 144 degrees, and angle S, which is 36, and angle U is also 36 degrees. Now, for Y, one of the other characteristics of parallelograms is that their opposite sides are congruent. So if this one measures, let's say 17, whatever it is, inches or miles, whatever, this one over here would also have to be equal to 17 inches or miles or whatever. So we can just set those equal to each other and have the equation. So if I say 2y plus 1 is equal to 17, I subtract 1 from both sides, I get 2y is equal to 16. Divide both sides by 2, y equals 8. And there you have it for that. Okay. Ahora en español. Hay unos cuantos pares de ángulos y que son congruentes, y congruente significa que tienen la misma medida. De que ángulo 4 y ángulo 8 son congruentes y ese símbolo es congruente, significa que la medida de ángulo 4 y la medida de ángulo 8 son iguales. Y en ángulos correspondientes, corresponding angles, hacen pares de ángulos que son congruentes. Entonces, ángulo 5 y ángulo 1 son congruentes. Ángulo 2 y ángulo 6 son congruentes. Ángulo 4 y ángulo 8 son congruentes. Y ángulo 3 y ángulo 7 son congruentes. Son congruentes porque son correspondientes. Correspondientes significa que tienen la misma orientación por el vértice en medio. Por ejemplo, 1 es arriba y a la izquierda desde el punto vértice. Y 5 arriba a la izquierda también. Abajo y a la izquierda es 7 y abajo a la izquierda del otro es 3. Entonces esos son pares y son congruentes. Ahora, veamos, el alternate interior angles son ángulos interiores alternativos o alternos. Entonces, eso de que son, significa también que son congruentes. Los ángulos interiores son los que están dentro de las dos líneas. Entonces, estos son interiores con estos. Todo lo que está así adentro de las dos líneas paralelas son interiores. Entonces, ángulo 3 y ángulo 6 son alternos porque están uno a un lado y el otro al otro lado. 4 es correspondiente con 5. Entonces, esos pares son congruentes. Otros alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles son los que están en el exterior de las dos líneas paralelas. Y alternate, otra vez, alternos son uno en un lado y el otro en el otro lado. Entonces, estos que están afuera y esos que están afuera son exteriores. Y 2 es correspondiente, ángulo 2 es correspondiente con 7 que son alternos. Uno de un lado y el otro del otro lado. A ver. Ángulo 1 es correspondiente con ángulo 8 y por lo tanto no correspondiente, alternate in exterior angles. Y son congruentes. Ok. Y tenemos también un tipo de ángulo que se llaman same side interior angles, ángulos interiores que están al mismo lado del transversal, también se le llaman ángulos interiores consecutivos. Y esos son suplementarios, significa que se suman a 180 grados. Entonces el ejemplo que hice, ángulo 3 y ángulo 5 no son congruentes, pero sí se suman a 180 grados. Entonces la medida de ángulo 5 y la medida de ángulo 3, si se suman, tiene que sumarse a 180 grados. Y si la medida de ángulo 3 fuera 70 grados, la medida de ángulo 5 sería 110. Y eso sí se suma a 180 grados. Otra cosita, las líneas paralelas M y N son paralelas. Se escribe de esa manera en matemáticas. M y esas dos rayas significa paralelas. Y se lee así: line M is parallel to line N. La línea M es paralela a la línea N. Ok. Entonces aquí nos han dado esta información de que la ángulo 5 mide 156 grados. Y este ángulo 5 es correspondiente con 1. Es alternate interior con 4. Es un ángulo vertical con 8. Y todos esos ángulos son congruentes. Entonces, si 5 es 150 grados, 4 también, y 8 también. Ahora, para tener la diferencia, si me fijo en de número 3 y 5 no son congruentes, pero sí son suplementarios. Entonces, la medida de ángulo 3 sumado con 156 grados, que es lo de ángulo 5, se suma a 180 grados. Entonces, si se resta 156 de ambos lados, eso elimina el 156 en la mano izquierda, y en la mano derecha 180 menos 156 es 24 grados. Pero si 3 es 24 grados, 2 es un ángulo vertical con eso y siempre son iguales, entonces 2 también mide 24 grados. Ok. Y aquí en la siguiente, esto es un paralelogramo, y una de las características de los paralelogramos es que los lados opuestos son paralelos. Entonces, esto se puede mostrar así. Dos flechas aquí significa que con estos dos flechas aquí, que esas dos líneas son paralelas, y esta línea con esta línea también. Entonces, 4x más 3 se suma con 11x más 3, es suplementario. Se suma, da 180 grados. Entonces, con esa ecuación, reemplazamos con sus valores: 47x más 3, 11x más 3, igual a 180. 47x y 11x son términos semejantes, se suman, da 58x. 3 más 3, 6. Y otra vez todo eso es igual a 180. Se le resta 6 de ambos lados, y eso nos daría 174. Y de ahí se divide entre 58 en ambos lados del signo igual, y 174 dividido entre 58 es 3. De ahí tú puedes reemplazar 47x más 3 con el hecho de que x es igual a 3, lo que acabamos de encontrar, y 47 por 3 más 3, y si lo pones, eso da 144. Si lo haces igual con lo de 11x más 3, con eso de que x es igual a 3, eso es 11 por 3 más 3, y eso es 33 más 3, y eso es 36. Y esos dos se suman a 180. Así que eso es el chequeo. Los ángulos opuestos, ángulo R y ángulo T, son congruentes. Entonces, si R es 140 grados, el ángulo T también. Y el ángulo S, si eso es 36, lo que acabamos de ver, el ángulo opuesto, ángulo U, también es 36. Ahora, en cuanto a lo de 8, en cuanto a lo de Y, este lado, que es 17, el lado opuesto tiene que medir igual. Eso es una de las características de los paralelogramos. Entonces, esto también es 17. Y en la ecuación tú pones que 2y más 1 es igual a 17. Se resta 1 de ambos lados. 2y es igual a 16. Se divide ambos lados entre 2 y y es igual a 8. Entonces, así es como encontramos y en este caso. Bueno, para adelante, sigue. Tú sí puedes.